Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with that being said, before we do fully jump on into this video, I do just want to really quickly address the fact that yes, I am getting sick, so I do apologize if I do sound a little bit weird. But overall, we are still seeing major altcoins starting to break out. We are seeing 30+% moves on the board on the 7-day span. We are seeing, still 200+%, 80, almost 7%. I mean, things have been moving rapidly still. Very exciting to see overall. And when we are talking about Hedera, I do think that Hedera is going to have an incredible year ahead. And I really want to address a few things before we do, of course, talk about some fundamentals and talk about some exciting things. And that is, of course, I do want to address the price chart real quick. So, ultimately speaking, let's throw the RSI and also the volume on here so that we can really kind of, go in depth on this and really address it fully. So, in terms of the weekly volume, we are seeing a nice little influx in weekly volume. It's nothing too crazy, as you guys do see, but it is starting to build up slowly. We've seen a slow build up in the past. I mean, even going back here to like November of 2020, it started to build up slowly, sort of just trading sideways, and then we had those nice days of influxes that pushed us to the past all-time high. Now, overall, we don't need a ton of weekly volume to push us to all-time highs or anything like that, but we will see massive amounts of volume flowing into altcoins, especially as we do march forward on. Specifically, I just mentioned DNT in the Discord. We were really kind of watching this one back in like 2021. This thing is up 8,360% in terms of trade volume, and we could really kind of see the price of this skyrocketing in value. And of course, a lot of these altcoins were in a massive downward trend until they did launch off of their bottoms. Now, again, when we are talking about the current structure of a lot of these altcoins, HBAR is no different than, a lot of these assets that have been doing massive runs lately. In fact, we are trading below that major resistance point, above support as well. We are seeing some nice volume. RSI on the weekly looks pretty, solid. I mean, it's just kind of trading sideways, which is pretty good. I haven't really looked at the daily too much, but we could address the daily real quick. So, diminished volume here as we do kind of just trade sideways. Again, we are still riding that 10-day EMA wave, which is very good to see. Ultimately speaking, as long as we don't break down below it, we should be good. We see the RSI is almost, at a crossing point for the moving average, so we are awaiting to see if we are going to have a strong bounce off of that or if we are going to break down below it. We do break down below it, yes, we will see a little bit more downward trend. Of course, I'm watching the Bitcoin pair for a lot of these altcoins closely. As you guys are probably all aware from my video from yesterday, my levels are still on the board in terms of the Bitcoin price chart. So, again, this one is coiled up a little bit. We're still waiting for, that breakout event to happen. On the weekly, you can really kind of see it as it is kind of coiling up here. We really need to, break above some significant levels here. Right now, the 50-day EMA is the one that it really kind of wicked to and rejected off on the weekly. But again, the weekly, for the Bitcoin and the USD pair looks still pretty bullish. I mean, it's still in a nice, slow upward trend. But again, it is an upward trend. On the daily, though, you can really kind of see this being squeezed between currently the 50-day EMA and also the 10-day EMA. I'm waiting for this to have a confirmed breakout event, but ultimately speaking, we are also watching Bitcoin closely because it looks like Bitcoin could be having a breakout event very, very soon within this month. So, there's a lot of factors to look into. Tomorrow I will be addressing the dollar and the major indices along with a lot of these altcoins because, of course, I do have this structure, really kind of printed on the chart for the dollar. This is what I'm hoping to see. This will cause a major influx throughout the entire market. Again, it looks like the RSI is about to cross on the dollar. Every single time that we've crossed on the dollar, it did lead us to a downward trend. So that is what I'm watching for. And with that being said, I think that altcoins are looking to have a beautiful year ahead. Now, with this in mind, let's talk about a few things with Hedera. So first off, of course, it is a new month, and that means that we've seen a March 2022 status of Hedera posted by Hbar Tower. So we do see, 78 million plus new transactions in the month of March, which is slowly, I would say that is slightly below the average that we've been seeing on the monthly transactions. But we also seen 78,000 new accounts, which we are still seeing a lot of volume within that area. We've seen one new exchange, and for the most part, the growth has been continuously, on an upward trend here. I love to see it, and when we are talking about Hedera, I look forward to seeing, the days of 78 million transactions a day, or maybe a billion transactions a month. Like, that's when things are going to get very real, very fast, especially not only for the price of Hbar, but also the Hedera name itself. So I look forward to those days. Shout out to Hbar Tower for, of course, that monthly update. Now, we also seen another listing for Hedera. I've talked to you guys about, I think it was Woo Exchange or Woo Network, but we do see Bitvavo. We have listed Hbar. Hbar is the native cryptocurrency of the Hedera public network. You can now trade Hbar on Bitvavo. Now, a lot of these exchange listings, I welcome them for more, just for like more volume to flow over. But a few of these are pretty small in the idea on, like, a top 10 exchange, for example. Now, it looks like this is a Euro-based Bitvavo exchange. And when we are talking about the 24-hour volume, this isn't too bad compared to most. It is actually above most of the exchange listings that we usually see, and it's actually above the Woo Network, which was the one from the other day. But we do see 141.1, almost 141.2 million dollars in volume on the 24-hour span. So it is slightly below most. But the month or the weekly visits are 477.9K, almost 477.5K. Now, like I said, are we still awaiting some top tier exchange listings? 100%, but it doesn't mean that we can't welcome more, smaller tier exchange listings that do provide a lot more, volume for, Hedera, because, volume right now is the biggest thing that's kind of holding us back, I would say. That, and also like buyer demand, but that's going to be fixed very soon, especially with DeFi launching on Hedera. And a lot of this, the reason why I bring this up is because, like, we're seeing this sort of, pushed agenda throughout the entire, community. Like, I don't care what people do. Like, if you want to sell your Hbar now, go ahead. If you want to sell it later, go ahead. That's totally up to you. I'm not going to give you guys that type of advice. But, we do see a lot of individuals kind of, closing out their Hbar positions, selling it, getting into other assets, mentioning how other assets have done, a lot better, moves and things like that. The reason why I bring this up is because, I want you guys to know that if you have hodled this long, I would hodl a little bit longer, because now we are seeing a major shift within the Hedera ecosystem. And that shift is not only staking coming, right? And this is going to be high APY from what I've seen. But not only is staking coming, but we also see, a massive demand for the Hedera ecosystem as well because of staking and DeFi in general. In fact, we do see here, why are you going to be profitable by joining Stater? Here you guys have that extra 82% increased in value through rewards on staking. You do see HODL, but you also see stake plus HODL. This is exactly why when we're talking about, staking, it does provide not only an idea of, sort of a safety net for hodlers, but it also provides a lot more value for those individuals, and it kind of incentivizes you to hold your, assets longer. So again, this is very good for us. I think that this is great to see, and I have been seeing this, like, ultimate crypto tournament being posted around. Like, Hbar has been killing the game lately, and when we are talking about that, it really kind of shows you guys that there's a big ecosystem and community around Hbar and Hedera. But also, DeFi is coming to Hedera, and this is going to be huge, right? With staking and stuff like that, DeFi is definitely something that could provide a massive amount of volume and value for a network. DeFi is transformative, but only if the DLT it is built on can really scale to billions of people on the planet without any compromise in security, speed, and without impact to the cost of transactions submitted to the network. True DeFi apps will be built on Hedera. And honestly, when we are talking about the DeFi space, it has been pretty much, sort of stable in terms of market cap. But I do believe that this is going to see a major bull run ahead as well. We are seeing on the 7-day span for some of these DeFi tokens some major, value being exchanged here. I mean, we're seeing 100 plus gains, 50, 75, 70. It's been pretty significant in terms of gains throughout this area. But I definitely do think that when we are talking about DeFi, I think that this space is set for a massive disruption, and I think that we are going to be seeing a lot more volume in to the DeFi area specifically. So I do think that DeFi is great for Hedera to really step into, especially not only because of the efficiencies of the network compared to most, but just because of the demand here. So definitely look forward to that as well, and of course. I really just want to really quickly wrap up the idea that, listen, it is April. I just mentioned to you guys the other day this specific, announcement. We are going to be seeing a lot more projects within this ecosystem, not only in 2022, but in, April as well. I mean, April, we are going to be seeing 10 new projects. So definitely pay attention to that. And also, pay attention to the funds that Hedera is releasing. This is the rate of the grants from the SIF have been incredible so far. It's going to be crazy to see how big our ecosystem suddenly becomes when all projects are receiving grants across each fund come to market. Not to mention the OVO HQ, Hedera Basecamp, and Hedera 22 Hackathon. Hello future. And if you guys did miss this, I mean, honestly, when we're talking about everything that is coming to the Hedera ecosystem, it's crazy to say the least. Like, here we have, the Hbar Foundation has funded a number of projects building on Hedera focused on sustainability since launching their sustainability fund last month. Recipients included Dovu, Official, Water Ledger, Timeless BV, Miko Me's, Trustery as well. So, like I said, guys, there's a ton of things being built on Hedera. We do have to be patient a little bit with some of them going live, but I definitely look forward to a lot of this to really kind of be announced and unfold it fully to go live. Hedera has been killing the game lately. I think that when we're talking about the Hbar Foundation as well, they have been killing it in terms of grants and really kind of building out this ecosystem. And I truly am very excited, to say the least, for the future of Hedera. And not only Hedera, but also the Hbar token itself in terms of value. Like I said, definitely pay attention to the overall, views on this market. Of course, I do daily market updates if you guys do want to watch those, where I do kind of address Hbar almost on a daily basis in terms of price action. But ultimately speaking, like when we are talking about where we currently are, we're still looking very, very good. We have that, nice double tap of that support with that nice upward trend. We're seeing, higher lows being printed in, and of course, those fib outreaches takes us to that $2 plus range. And, I think that we could go much higher. I think that we can go to $3 to $6. I mentioned this multiple times. I even did a video on this yesterday. So definitely keep a close eye out on, of course, the fundamentals. The price action itself will catch up as more and more things do get developed out. I've said this multiple times, even with other tokens like Matic and stuff that I have held in the past. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. If you guys do want more, content, my exit plans and stuff like that, go check out NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.